So you can see when I'm in this position, everything's in front of me. Shaking hands, and it's the feeling like I'm holding a tray. Okay, if I'm giving blood, shaking hands, holding a tray. Like I felt like I turned as deep as I possibly could.
Yeah.
But this elbow prevents my hands from ever getting lost behind my body.
So it's all
heel pads down, thumbs and trigger fingers up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of right here. Boom. And it's just. Okay, so you mentioned something to me before we even started.
Yeah.
What's your attempt in the backswing? What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to, kind of what you say is like getting that left shoulder to push the club down and get this vertical.
Yep.
So then I just have to turn.
Yep.
But instead I feel like this arm kind of sucks it back and it's shallowing around.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times too, what people do when they have an attempt to try to get the club in front of them, they alter their hand path to try to accomplish that.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, you know, if this is down the line of my feet right here, ideally the set position, you know, to pocket high, that's where where we like to see the golf club in the player's mind completely set.
Okay.
Now that's the angle between the lead arm and the golf club to this point right here. Now, will there be a little bit extra settle at the top for a lot of players? Absolutely, and that's okay. But just the idea of it, right? We want to have the hands down the line of the feet. That's the hand path. And then of course we want the butt end of the club to be pointed at the ball or just inside the ball. That's the swing plane. And that just keeps the golf club in front of us. A lot of times what people do is they disconnect their arms and try to get the hands out to get the club out, and then everything ends up wrapping around the body in a funky way.
Okay.
Hands disconnect. So nothing crazy, right? We're just bumping the hip and getting in the right spot, and then we'll talk now more about the arm structure. So look how I'm drawing this right down the line of his feet right here. It's like literally right down the line. I always look to make sure my player's hands are moving straight back down that line. There's checkpoint one. And then look when the club fully sets. Hand path was straight, butt of the club was toward the ball or just inside of it.
Yep.
Literally perfect, right? So when we get you going here, let's go right before you pull the trigger. See the hands? You can already see where they want to go. This is what I meant about people try to get the club out by moving the hands out. So when you move the hands out around, didn't end too bad, but the club's above the ball, and then there's that breakdown at the top where it just gets too far behind you.
Yeah.
And then what's great about this is he just keeps that elbow in one place and turns.
How do you quiet that right elbow?
Oh yeah, I mean, this hand, my dad used to have me do it all the time. Underneath this elbow. Lead hand, under trail elbow. I'm pulling this towards the center of my body. I'm pulling it in as I turn, right? So you guys watch me there? So you can see when I'm in this position, everything's in front of me. Now ready? If I do it all the way at the top, I can still turn and face my chest. Look, it's right in front of me.
Yeah.
Seemingly just right here, and then just turning. It's only going from like here up to here.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not going back there. It's not going back here. It's just going right here, you know, and it's just right here. Okay? It's the feeling like I'm giving blood.
Yeah.
It's the feeling like I'm shaking hands, and it's the feeling like I'm holding a tray. Okay? If I'm giving blood, shaking hands, holding a tray, this arm just didn't get away from the right side of my body as far as here's the seam on my shirt.
Yep.
It's not getting behind that seam. Now, if you look at it from your perspective here, it's not touching my body. People think rotated in means in, and that's a problem too. That also can greatly disconnect you, right? It's just rotated inward this way, okay? And watch what happens when I do that. If I'm here, you can actually see it's not touching my body.
Right.
I actually want to create some width there. You know, you look at that, it's away from me. And that's important to understand as well, but it's really going to be for you today. Because now from my perspective, when I'm looking down, my hands look like they're almost right on top of that line. Well, guess what you can do? Just try to feel your hands trace down that line to the set position. I'm going to teach you, of course, you already had the right concept of pushing down the handle a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just that you were going out with the hands, right? So if our hands stay right down the line of our feet and you can actually see that train track right there, well, now you can just do that with that same downward pressure. Well, that butt of the club's going to point, you know, a little bit more inside the ball compared to what you're used to. Well, guess what? From here, that elbow doesn't move. Just turn. And there's your spot, right? There you go. Awesome right there. And it's going to feel more. There you go.
So that's
It's like
an
you're
important part for me.
externally rotating that shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's cool about the elbow? I mean, this is the cool thing about the elbow. When you finally master this,
Yeah.
I can literally feel like I'm turning as far as I want in this direction with my body. Watch this. Literally feel like I'm just going so far that way, but my hands never get behind me because that right elbow, watch this. Like I felt like I turned as deep as I possibly could.
Yeah.
But this elbow prevents my hands from ever getting lost behind my body. I don't want to show the inside of my arm to you guys at all. I only want to show the inside of my arm with a big turn to you guys from right there. You see that?
Yeah, that's
not this way.
Yeah.
Okay, it's big. If you're here, just go like this with me. And go like this, and then turn. There it is. And if you can, try to feel like, like you're just right here, like you're tucking. See how you tuck that back there? That's the key for you, brother.
So feeling that, yeah.
Yes, that's the key. It's like you're serving a tray right here.
Yeah.
And you're serving a tray, but you're getting that shoulder behind you, and you're just, if I had a player the other day that said, hey, the minute you told me to get both thumbs up, game changing.
Okay.
So watch, both thumbs up look like this, right? They all do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just what's your personal
Feel versus real, okay.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. The number one thing about a hinge is that it's happening as a result of your body's turn, and it's not happening independently of your body's turn.
Right.
People start to hinge and they start moving their hands and wrists isolated from their body, and that's devastating for the golf swing. That's disconnecting it.
Okay.
So your attempt was kind of what I mentioned at the beginning of like, oh, my hand path is going to go this way to try to get my club that way.
Mm-hmm.
That person has a really tough time then getting the club back on plane. It's just, hey, I'm just going from here to here. And the way I've always explained that, if I was connected here, like watch, see how they just go straight back?
Mm-hmm.
If I went out like you did, that would have fallen, right? So it's like, we're right there. And as I do that, I like the feeling of kind of heel pads down, thumbs and trigger fingers up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of right here. Boom. And it just locks in right there. When you get it locked, you have connection, you have nice width, and then from there,
It's just staying, right? Yeah.
just look at this. That elbow's in the good spot right there. Look at this. Just turn. And look where it is when I transition. And then right through impact. And then right through. Yeah. Let's get part one right. 2. See that?
Mm-hmm.
That thing just slings right down the line there. And what's fun about that is I'm just feeling like, okay, from here, well, this will be the spot that if I just went back through impact, would be right down the line.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna just kind of pivot a little more and then right back down that line. And that's how I've always swung the golf club. Very, very simple. And of course, the bigger my turn gets, the more I go after that, the harder that shot comes off. But I'm not changing that structure that I set initially.
Right.
That's why it's important for you not to get this elbow out of place here, because it's going to be a nightmare trying to then find it from there. It's important to get here, here, and then there. And that's why so many people have resonated with the thought that I kind of, gave the golfing world about a decade ago. I called it giving blood.
Yep.
And that was a Porzak Golf original right there. I hear it a lot around the industry these days. You know what's fun about the giving blood, by the way? How that actually came to be? I had a doctor who used to take blood samples all the time. And I literally get in there and I go like this. I just went like, keep your hand on the club the right way. And I go like this. And he goes, yeah, just like I'm asking you to give blood. And I go, dude, you just helped the whole golf world. And that leads me to always say, people will ask, I'm going to beat the question already. Ready? Here it comes. Is this relevant for driver also? Yeah, of course it is. But here's the thing. Our driver and our iron swings are the exact same. It feels a little different because here's why. When I have a wedge in hand and the hands are in the middle of my stance, and it's narrow. Well, the set position's right here, so it feels more abrupt. Mm-hmm. Now I have an iron. Hands are a little more ahead, a little wider stance. Set position takes a little longer to develop, but it's still right here. Mm-hmm. Driver. Now it's a wider stance. Hands are way up here. Set position's over here. So I went from like 1 foot to 1.5 feet to like 2 feet right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it just takes a little longer to develop. Mm-hmm. So it feels a little wider as the club gets longer and the stance gets wider, but you're still hitting the same spots. Dude, nice. With the turn, beautiful, beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, dude, you just striped that. Yeah, do you feel that though?
Yeah, that's a little different.
Dude, kidding me, that was freaking awesome.
Okay.
But at Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.